Well, we're talking a lot about the software-defined data center this week, and obviously it's a question that a lot of customers ask, is what is software-defined data center? Where am I on the journey towards getting a software-defined data center? And how am I doing compared to my peers in the industry? Well, we're here with Craig, and Craig, I think you can explain a little bit more about how VMware can help customers get on the right path and see how well they're doing.
Yes, absolutely. What we're looking at today is customers are asking about software-defined data center. And they're asking really trying to understand what is it, first of all, and then how do I measure it? How do I measure my progress toward becoming software-defined? And that's really part of what we do here is we built a demonstration that allows us to look at 10 KPIs around software-defined services, measure where you are in those processes, and see where customers are, where your competition is as well. So we've been able to really see a benchmark of that process.
Can you show us a little bit?
Yeah, let's take a look at this. The main idea though is that data center virtualization is more than just server virtualization. It's also storage, it's network, it's also the automation processes to fully complete the services. And that's really what we look at here. We say it's the synergy of virtualization, process, and automation. So let's take a look at an example of how we would go through this. So we start with an analysis here for a sample customer. We take some information about costs, staffing, workload, and this information is really used to help us understand what is the value of becoming software-defined. Because we can become more software-defined, we can improve processes, and that's great. Maybe we're even performing better than peers, which is awesome. But the bottom line is, so what? If it doesn't affect my bottom line to make me more agile, more effective, more reliable, then it's great, but I need to show the bottom line to the stakeholders. So that's what we show here. We take a look at the workload that makes that up, and then we look at our 10 KPIs here that deal with virtualization. So we look first at what is the current virtualization state? So how virtualized are your servers today? What level of virtualization is your network and your storage at today? And I really kind of define this as the kind of where am I today in virtualization. Next three questions we take a look at the process. And we look at how long does it take you to provision VMs, how long does it take you to provision storage and networks. And we look at that by understanding that the faster you're able to do that, obviously there's more automation in place to enable that. So the longer it takes, then we have an issue of usually process and automation.
The longer it takes, the further you are away from creating your own software-defined data center.
Correct, exactly. This answers the question of how did we get here? First question was where are we, and this question is how did we get here? If we got here not through automation, that process is not going to take us to the software-defined data center. Then the next four questions deal with the process and automation parts. And those deal with workload scaling, predictive capability, security and compliance processes, database and applications provisioning, and then policy management, being infrastructure independent. So the customers give us this information, and this is based on their understanding of their particular environment. Once we have that information, we're able to take a look at their results, and this shows us the 10 KPIs and how they rate on those. We look at the far right as being what we consider to be an optimized software-defined state. In this example, the blue bar indicates where the customer is. The orange button indicates where the average of the peer industry is. So this allows us to look at these three groupings, these three different factors, and understand where are we in that process, and where do we need to make progress to achieve a software-defined state. Now we also know that by virtualizing, we can help reduce some hardware. We reduce servers, we reduce storage devices, we can reduce networking equipment. That translates into real green environmental benefits. And so we also do an analysis to show the customers that power and cooling saving. What does it translate to in terms of CO2 reduction, CO2 sequestration? So we provide the environmental benefits to the customer as well. And then finally, to help them understand that question about what really is the benefit of doing this? What's the so what? How much money am I potentially saving?
Why should I do it?
Why should I do it? From the financial office. Here's where we show a range of efficiency, agility, and reliability to help a customer understand a range of potential benefit from becoming more software defined. And so we show these opportunities, and then we relate this back to efficiency, as I mentioned, efficiency, agility, reliability. We show them what the additional productivity can be in terms of FTE hours that are now available to do other things that are more mission critical, things that will help improve time to market of applications. That's how we define agility, getting your applications out faster. And then finally, we give this analysis in terms of what the finance people want to see, CapEx, OpEx, and indirect savings.
Perfect, well that sounds really useful, and I know a lot of customers are sort of struggling in how to bring this to their own business owners. If customers want to sort of engage with VMware and get a service like this and help them build that financial use case, where could they go?
They contact their account executives or work through the Accelerate advisory services.
Okay. Perfect, so contact your account managers, contact anyone you know at VMware, and they will be happy to help you get on the road to the software-defined data center. Thanks so much, Craig.
Thank you.